I think I am on live, just testing a few things to make sure that it started streaming. And if you are there on live right now, just give a ping in the comment section or in the chat section that you're able to see me, you're able to hear me. That will give a lot of confidence for me to kind of go ahead. So, hey guys, thank you for joining today's live. I know that I don't do live too much, too many, a very, very less number of lives that I have done in 2025, but some of these things are going to change. And that's why I wanted to talk to you folks. I wanted to let you guys know like what's there in my mind for tapaScript in coming year, especially in 2026. But before we get there, I want to thank you for all the support, whoever supported this channel in this year, 2025. And it's been phenomenal because I could complete two such things that I never thought that I'll be doing. One is 40 days of JavaScript. I can't even tell like how much effort it was required from my side to sit on it, get it done, prepare for it, record it, and then do the editing, making sure that all the tasks are in place. Each of the episodes of 40 days of JavaScript is such that the previous episode always teaches you how to proceed on the next one, and it creates a kind of chain reaction for you if you want to go from the beginning to the end. And the kind of feedback that I have received on 40 days of JavaScript is ultimate. Probably after my exams, engineering and everything, if one such good thing happened, is 40 days of JavaScript. Is like there are a lot of people spoke good about it. I think maximum number of people spoke good about it, and that encouraged me to start the second course, which was 15 days of React design patterns. So far till day 13 I have released, and just couple of hours back I finished day 14 recording. I'll be editing and publishing it on coming Tuesday, and then there will be day 15. Of course, we have included one extra pattern, so it will be 16 days of React design patterns, not exactly 15 days. Okay. So error boundary and suspense and all these things are still pending. I'll be covering them in this year itself, so that in 2025 remaining days it gets over completely. Apart from that, I have also spent time in creating Next.js resources. In case you are not aware, I've created a certain in-depth tutorial on Next.js, in-depth session on Next.js, and published them in 2025. I have created some career-oriented videos, content creation-oriented videos. Uh, so if you haven't got a chance to look into them, you can still, look into them. Those are available. So it was a great journey, though not too many videos I counted yesterday. It was about like I think close to 60 videos. That's what I have done in 2025, or by the end of the 2025, I'll be getting into close to 60 videos or 61 videos. So I think it's a phenomenal number for me because working full time, managing a company, having a family, need to take care of my health, getting old. So apart from that, spending that time and creating some quality content is what mattered to me a lot because I didn't want it to put a lot of focus on the quantity as such. Like I didn't want it to like 200 videos in a year. Rather, create something which is a very high quality. You usually don't get it as free, on internet, and that can set certain standard for many content creators or many educators going forward. Like you can teach freely with great content, with great motivation, as long as you have a great audience who can grasp that, be with you, and stay with you. So that's why thank you very much for everyone who stayed with me so far in 2025. And that gives me enough push to talk about what is there for 2026. I have taken some notes actually in my diary so that it helps me, and I don't forget, any of the things that I thought I'll be talking today. Okay, so let's do a reflection of certain things. In 2026 it can be JavaScript again. Like there is 40 days of JavaScript, why not you know continue that 40 days of JavaScript? Even I made a poll very recently. 500, close to 500 people participated in that poll. Almost like more than 80-90% wanted that I continue the 40 days of JavaScript and give more JavaScript related resources. It could be React also, like 16 patterns that what I am talking. There are various other patterns, right? That either you can learn by yourself or I can actually teach you. I can keep talking about career. I can keep talking about interviews, preparations, maybe some of the fundamental aspects like DSAs. There are variety of things where I think I'm capable to talk and teach well on all those aspects in 2026. But what I felt in last 4 months that this is not enough. This is not enough for you. It's not enough for me. It's not enough for you to sustain in the industry. And you probably already started guessing like why I'm saying it's not enough, because there are enough around AI that we really need to grasp, and we need to learn, we need to execute on it. So the way that we have been building software in last 1 year, I mean, I run a startup and I work for various customers. We're also working on incubating, a couple of products that will be out soon. The way that software development, software engineering is changing, the way that we are executing, it's been changing a lot. It is not that traditional way of knowing a programming language and then probably get the somewhat surface level idea about it and start building some project with the help of resources out over there, and then push it to the build, let it get deployed to the customer, and your job starts there to fix some bugs, make it maintenance ready, and then that's there. Basically the customer keep using it. So that's the regular cycle of software development, right, that we have been doing for years. But right now, how you should take a particular use case and your journey from that use case to delivery is changing a lot because of the type of tools that we have today, how AI influenced each of the layer of software development, how we can stitch those tools together and become more proactive, how we can get the essence of AI in everything, in every layer that we do as a software developer. Now, this piece of information, of course, is there on internet already. I mean, if you go on YouTube search or anywhere you search, you will find a bunch of information. There are few, I'll say a few only, content creators out there who are creating amazing content for people to understand AI and to understand where exactly AI fits in, how to use it, and giving a crystal roadmap for this. But that number is very few. That's what my research for last 4 to 5 months. Maximum number of folks that I have seen are talking about tools, buzzwords, or learning something on AI on 30 hours, X days. I mean, I really don't consider those kind of content as good content, right? So it's more about that. Now you remember like how you have learned the JavaScript. 40 days of JavaScript. 40 days, and each of the day somewhat like 1 hour, 2 hours, going through the videos, doing the task. So 40 days is not exactly 40 days. For me, it was like 5 months. For you, it might be like 3, 4, 5 months. I don't know, like that amount of dedication. So JavaScript as a programming language minimally need that time. And if you give that time, your foundation become really solid so that you can actually bank on that and do something else. Exactly same thing what I am realizing for the AI as well. You start with the tiny little angle of understanding various basic terminologies, like what people are talking about. People are talking about LLM, RAG, MCP, agent, etc. What are those actually mean in a plain English language? If someone can make me understand, someone can draw some picture very quickly, make me understand with the real life analogies, so that I get it in a way that I'll never forget. That kind of content is what I think you should be looking for. And there are people, a few people are making that. Then once you understand that, how do you know that where exactly it is fitting into your software development life cycle? Now, When you go for an interview, what if someone is asking, like, previously people used to ask, right? Build a calculator. We'll give you the editor, we'll give you all these things, and okay, code to build a calculator, to do app. What if they start asking you, like, let's create an agent based to do app, agent based scheduler? What if this kind of questions start appearing in your interview? So how do you know, like, where to factor in? You know now how to do a to-do app using React. It's pretty easy. You learn that. You know the logic and everything in JavaScript. Okay, you have learned that. All the fundamentals are there. But as the requirement is changing, what if the perspective of interviewers also change? The way that they are hiring or will be hiring you is completely changed, and how you actually fit yourself into that bracket. So that was my thought process for last 4 to 5 months constantly. So what I thought, like, when I am getting into 2026, I'm already covering a good portion of JavaScript. I'm already covering a good portion of React. So for developer in 2026, if we be honest, AI is not going to be anything special. AI is definitely not going to be a niche skill. AI is, even today, is not just for the ML engineers, like it's for everyone. So I kind of started getting it, like what Git was in, let's say, 2013, 2015, and then cloud came in say 2017, 2018. AI is something like this now, even in 2026. So it means that it's a assumed knowledge, I would say. People will assume that you have a knowledge on AI, as people will assume knowledge that you have on Git, you have on cloud, you have on dev tools, and etc. So this will be an assumption. This will be an implicit assumption that you have a knowledge. You have knowledge on AI. Now, if I assume that as a target for us, like in 2026, so it means that we need to get better in understanding AI, and we should be able to answer the questions like, where should I use AI? Where should I not be using AI? What kind of cost, safety measures, all these things are there around the AI tools or the AI paradigm that I'll be using in my application. How can I use AI in my stack, like my front end, back end, API, database, all these places? How I start integrating things together? And that is why the term is already been coined. It's called AI native. It's very much there. You can search for it. People are already creating content on AI native. You can actually start reading them or going through the videos. So I thought that 2026, let it be on AI native. Let it be on AI focused areas where we have a lot of awareness on AI. Does it mean that we are going to sacrifice all the fundamentals that we have learned? Definitely not. Because before you even go to AI, start doing anything with it, believe me, you need certain fundamentals. You need, if you're a web developer, you want to bring in AI, you need JavaScript fundamentals. If you are doing web development based on React, you need React fundamentals. You definitely need API fundamentals for doing AI native. You definitely need some of the database related knowledge to successfully build applications that are AI native. So you have to consider this as a package where you will be driven towards building application which is AI augmented. At the same time, everything regular that you need to learn as a full stack developer, like JavaScript, React, Node.js, whatever, Next.js, APIs, database, SQL, NoSQL, are still stays extremely relevant for you. And you also got to be someone who can really judge the good code versus bad code. How AI is generating the code. I mean, you are giving a prompt to ChatGPT. How is it generating the code and giving the code to you, which we often copy and paste it? Is from the publicly available certain data. Maybe that code is written by you, me, or somebody else years back, right? Maybe inspired by that code is coming to you. Now, there is a high chance that code has some issue. There is a high chance that code doesn't cover all the edge cases. There is a high chance that you can make that code that AI generating much, much better to work in a condition where your customer use cases will be handled very well. So who will do this judgment and how to do this judgment, right? Now, while building an application which is AI native, AI augmented, AI aware, while most of the things you can really put a strategy to create that entire code basis, the code style, the flow using AI. But now, how to bring your fundamentals into it so that the end product is something which is production ready is our 2026 goal. So, I hope I am able to convey what I'm trying to do. If not, don't worry, because I'll be starting this series. I don't know whether it's one series or two series or three series. I'm not sure. I'm still planning. Where we'll be starting something which will start from a very baby step to bring AI awareness, and then slowly getting into how it fits into our ecosystem of full stack development, and then to do small to large level projects so that every layer of it we touch fundamentally and we see how we can use AI into it. So it means that if anyone with this journey, let's say for next 5 to 6 months, they are not thinking of any application development, any software application development without AI, with fundamentals into picture. That's what 2026 is going to be. So I hope I was able to make you understand. And I would appreciate that you start putting comments into the chat so that towards the end of it I can get back and start answering all the questions, and probably it will give me a few more pointers to kind of talk through. So teaching about AI native for software development for full stack, definitely it is not going to be a machine learning course, because I myself don't have that, what do you say, capability would be a bad word. I say proper education to get too deeper into machine learning and all. So it won't be, definitely not a machine learning thing. It won't be a data science thing at all. It won't be math heavy, and it definitely is not going to be videos like become expert in such thing in X days. We are not. I don't believe on that. So it's not going to be that. Rather, it will start with AI fundamentals, and it will start with AI fundamentals in plain English. Then how AI can be part of your application architecture, how AI can be part of your every layers like front end, back end, API, database, everywhere, and building some real projects and real products with that. So that's what we'll keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing. Okay. So this is what I want to do. I will not teach you any hype. I am just planning to teach you certain judgment. Like you will be able to judge this is good, this is bad, this is where you should be using, this is where you should not be using. Now, do I know everything? No, I don't know. My education on AI is for last 6 to 8 months, I would say, in a rough. But I gone very deep in 6 to 8 months, spending a lot of time, my own personal time, studying, creating project, talking in conferences, listening to people, connecting to folks who are AI minded. So I thought I have enough information now where I can actually get the ball rolling. And while doing that, I will also discover a lot of stuff by myself. Teaching is probably one of the best way that you can learn, and I always bank on this, and I'll be banking on this for the AI as well, right? And if I find some of the AI enthusiasts, in tapaScript family community, it will be awesome to collaborate as well. Okay, so the task is to making sure that we don't have anyone who is left behind on AI, and we're still going to talk about JavaScript, React, Next.js, Node.js, databases. I told about SQL, NoSQL, doing a man stack project, but everything is AI aware. Okay, so this is something that is the stand that we are taking. I will take a pause. Let me quickly go back to the chat section and take a look into the chat section and see like what people are talking about, and if I can answer any questions. And then I'll come back to the few more items that are there in the plan. I'm sure that you're going to like that as well. Okay. Okay. So, okay, thank you for thinking that is one of the best JavaScript course on YouTube. Thanks a lot. Okay. I went to Next.js from, okay, fine. You were okay. Good to know that. Okay. So I'm just seeing this comments. Yeah, Node.js. I know people are keep asking. I'll come to this Node.js topic. Okay. Could you cover senior to architect level? Yes, definitely. So if you see, like most of the content I have created in 2025, keeping beginner to senior in mind, that range in mind. I haven't created any content which is like more clickbait or create fear, create frustrations, those kind of thing. I have not created such content. I've created content which is very pointed, any beginner to senior, they can learn things end to end, dot to dot. That's what the objective is. Now many of the content has not reached people, has not got the kind of views that it deserve, I felt, but still is fine. Whoever got the benefit out of it, I'm happy with that, because the kind of feedback and the comments I have received from you. So definitely in future, whatever we're going to do, it remains same. From beginner to the architect level is what we're going to cover. Okay, next. Okay, can you include explore how to copilot VS Code? Yeah, definitely. So see, the thing is, there is a question is like, can you include or explore how to use Copilot with VS Code built with agent capability? Yes, not only Copilot. I'm going to teach you few other stuff as well along with it, which we internally, I mean, keep exercising. So I'm going to bring them on. And the thing is like, you cannot go away from tooling. Tooling is a heart in AI, right? You can use tool, and you have to use tool, and you have to use the right tools. You have to know like which model for which situation is useful. You have to know like how to configure certain things into your code environment so that the developer experience remains super cool. All these things will be part of this journey. Yes. Okay, so these are the questions that I saw that you guys have asked. So feel free to ask your question, because it will be really cool. And if you are not watching right now live, and come back to this later point in time, and uh, take a look into this video later point in time, please post it on comments, because it will be really good to know what do you think of what I am telling, right? I'm a very small content creator on YouTube, very, very tiny, small one. I don't have so many people to get feedback from, but whoever give me feedback, my audiences, my community, my friends, students, whoever, it means a lot to me. And you know that I take very special care of them. I try to comment to each of your comment on the video. Okay, as long as those are not negative, and then try to accommodate whatever you tell, whatever you suggest, as much as possible by my time, capability, and capacity, right? So it will be great that if you can post comment, now or later point in time also. So on the AI native side, mostly from January second week is what we are going to get started. I'll be finishing the 15 days of React design patterns mostly by January first week, and January second week we are going to get started with this one. We'll be starting very small, baby step, understandable way, and if you stick to it for a few months, I'm sure like you will feel that acceleration that we are talking about, that this is going to be awesome. Okay, apart from that, the next thing that I'm going to complete in 2026 is, I had started a course on TypeScript. I'm not sure how many of you know. I had created 4 videos, and then I left it there. There are a few reasons why I left it, because I felt like people are coming to TypeScript without knowing JavaScript. So let's focus on JavaScript first, and then we'll talk about TypeScript, because to me TypeScript is nothing but a bunch of lines of code to get the type safety. As long as we have the JavaScript fundamentals well, we can win on TypeScript at any point in time. And I didn't feel that urge and need to teach TypeScript at that point in time, when someone is coming to the TypeScript video and commenting on object destructuring. They're asking question on object destructuring, which has nothing to do with TypeScript as such. In JavaScript, you have to know object destructuring. In JavaScript, you have to know about the date, you have to know about different data types, references, and all these things. And once you are very confident on it, super confident with the fundamentals, that's what 40 days of JavaScript is for, to make you super, super confident. Now, TypeScript is pretty easy. You can grasp on it like anything, because the load for JavaScript is already been taken care. You are not loaded for JavaScript. JavaScript is done. Now you're only focus on those TypeScript aspect that you want to learn. That's the difference. Okay, so now I think it's the right time that I get back to TypeScript. When I estimated initially it will be around 12 videos, 4 of them I have already created, so I have to create 8 more videos, so that course is also already there, and whoever wants to learn TypeScript, they can learn. And as and when there is something coming into TypeScript, we can always keep adding to it. But the first idea is to complete that TypeScript course. So if you want to take a look of the TypeScript course, there are already 4 videos you can take a look. Okay, I'm not going to disturb those 4 videos. I'm going to create another 8 or 9 to complete that course. So that's the second thing that I'm going to do in 2026, apart from being AI native. Okay, so that's the second thing. Then there are two more things where I want to put focus on. The third thing is I had an initiative called tapaScript Lab. This initiative started in 2025. I did a bunch of podcasts with folks who are really great talent in the industry. They may not be celebrities. None of them were celebrities, basically. They are very, very good talent. Be an architect, be a lead, be a person who's very strong in some of the fundamentals, maybe data structure, maybe system design, or as as much as a fresher, talking to a fresher, taking an interview. So I did it part of an initiative called tapaScript Lab, which is available under the podcast section in my channel. So 2026, my idea is to not to overestimate on it. So every time what happened, I used to overestimate. Okay, I have to talk to 50 creators this year and I have to make this live. Okay, I feel like I miserably failed there. I terribly failed there because I don't have that time. I have only 24 hours like you, and out of that, possibly 16 hours will be busy doing my office work and other work, and then I will have remaining maybe 2 to 3 hours to give on YouTube. That makes me 18 hours a day, right? So I cannot really push myself beyond that. So I thought, okay, let's not kind of kill myself. Let's do something like in 2026, I'm going to invite at least 12 guests. It means per month, one guest at least. It might be more than that if I am allowed, if I can, but at least 12 guests in 2026, and do some of the classic podcast with them. So who are those guests will be? I already lined up some of them, spoke to some of them. They have also agreed. Could be an architect in the area of maybe UI, or somebody who has gone very deep in the AI, would have written a book. The book is very famous maybe today. Okay, I'm not spilling the names. Maybe someone who is a person who cracked the content creation, on the genre of web development or say full stack development in a great way, how that person did it. So, and then there could be someone who is very well versed with React architecture, the internal of it. Talk to that person. So, like that, I have lined up a few. I spoke to a few of them. They have agreed. I have to speak to remaining of them. Hopefully, they also agree. And once that happen, the TypeScript Lab will run for at least 12 videos per month, one podcast that I'm going to release with very interesting topic, so that it helps lot of developers to get the insights of it. We are not going to talk about the exactly same thing that you and me already know. We're going to talk about mostly about the internals of things which people are curious to know, like how it works under the hood in a simple English language, right? That's what the target is for the TypeScript Lab. So we are going to talk about mostly like career journeys, architecture, industry readiness, AI adoption, how to build the skill, startup, etc. Okay, and the last thing that where I should be focusing on is doing the live, and I'm very bad at it. I did probably only 2 or 3 live in the entire year, right? So I'm very bad because somehow I feel that I'm a bit shy when I come to live. But I don't feel that when I go on stage. But somewhat this live, I feel like I'm alone in the room. Nobody is there, so somewhat odd. But I think I need to break that complexities in myself, and I had to do more live. So I thought that I will be doing the live, but little bit differently. So how we'll be doing the live is like uh, I'll be doing this live on Zoom. Okay, and on Zoom it will be registration driven. So 100 folks can register and then they can join Zoom, and the same thing will be streamed on YouTube as well as a live. Why Zoom? Because I want to talk to people. Here, the main problem is like nobody is able to talk to me. They're chatting. I'm looking into the chat and I'm kind of replying. It's bit kind of barrier, right? So I have to talk to folks. and I want everyone to talk to me, right? And that will be a very good conversation. We can talk about various things that I've noted down over here. We can talk about career confusion, we talk about AI anxieties, we can do portfolio reviews, we can do, CV feedback, we can do some real advices, we can talk about debugging, various different thing that we can actually talk. Why 100 people? Because that's the Zoom limit, the plan that I have. But beyond 100, if anytime there are people who are number is beyond 100, the same live is kind of being streamed on, will be streamed on YouTube, where people can chat also and I can chat also. So every month we'll try to do at least one live to get started. It will be on Zoom. It will be in a way where we can interact with each other, we can communicate with each other. I'm planning to do it on the third week of every month, this live on a Friday, late evening, like this, how I'm doing right now, so that most of the people are kind of ready, and they can come on the live and they can join, and we can start interact, we can start talking about face to face, listening to you and talking to you, learning from you, at the same time sharing things with you, would be really awesome thing to do. So that's the other thing that I want to do. So overall, our idea is to go about AI awareness, AI native, along with learning some of the other stuff like backend. What is in backend? When you're asking for some backend course, you're asking for an ocean. What is in the backend course? There are a lot of things in the backend course. There are a lot of things. Are you asking for Node.js, or you're asking for Node.js plus Express, or you're asking for Nest, NEST, more types of way of doing it, or you're asking beyond API? You're asking like, okay, I know to develop API or a crash course on API. Now let's talk about API security. Let's talk about the databases, right? What exactly we are looking for in the backend? It has to be very explicit. So, and it is so vast. So instead of going and trying to swim the entire ocean, what would be really great is to make it project driven. Like you take certain use cases, certain projects which we in general face in the real production, like environment, right? What kind of problem we face. Build your project use case in that way, break that into multiple layers, and then explain each of the layer. So while explaining the API layer, I definitely have to explain to you maybe Express, like how Express works, the latest version of it. And while doing that, I have to explain to you about the middleware, right? I have to explain to you the security constraint of it when you're building a Node.js application using Express. So if I'm doing this for two such projects, and whoever following those two projects, third project onwards, expectation is like it. I don't have to repeat that, right? Now I may not be going into each and every fundamental aspects of or the APIs of Node.js provides, but what I am doing here, I'm talking about those real world projects that touches 80% of the thing that industry uses. That's a big win for you, right? So instead of we take one Node.js or one Express, spend about 4 to 5 months on it, doing every APIs, everything. Maybe we'll be doing 10 projects by this time, 10 good fat projects, which will take care of the 80% of the Node.js thing that will be used, in production by, multiple companies, right? And if you put those projects or those fundamentals to create another project of your own and put it into your CV resumes, which will have a great value add, right? So that's something I think more smarter approach for us to do. Same thing is for the databases, right? In some projects we can go for relational database like PostgreSQL. Some project we can go for vector databases like maybe let's take Supabase. It has the vector database support. For some we'll go like NoSQL like MongoDB. And while taking that database, it is not just about looking into how the CRUD happens, right? We're going to talk about indexing. We're going to talk about the queries. We're going to talk about the batch processes. We're going to talk about various different aspects of this databases. That's how we should be learning. And if you're a person who is really motivated to learn, I think you will pick up from that. You don't need real hand holding for each of the aspects from that particular layer, right? So that's what I wanted to kind of call out when Someone is asking for backend course. Instead of a backend course like 40 days of JavaScript, I think what will be really smart move in 2026 is to build applications. While doing that, learn the fundamentals of backend database. You have the fundamentals of JavaScript, React already, and then use AI with that. I hope that makes sense to you. Let me go back to chat again. Okay, I'm just scrolling up and see. Okay. Next.js course, Node Express database API. Yeah, I just answered that. Okay, how to let your recruiter know from my resume that the project are built through AI tools. Okay, cool. I think it's a probably a topic for uh, a live itself or a different discussion itself. When you're doing an AI native project, I think you should be calling out explicitly to your recruiter the journey of it. I mean, the tools everybody talk about. You used ABCD model, you use XYZ database, you use this particular API, you use that LLM. That tool is perfectly fine. But when you are talking about AI native project, AI augmented project, to your recruiter, you talk through the journey, how you first came up with the use case specification, and from that use case specification, what is the journey it took for you to get to the structured prompt that you supplied to the LLM to get what you need. First step. So here that LLM is not important, what LLM you used. The journey of creating the structured prompt is the main key area that your interviewer would be interested in. Then how you have iterated on the response from AI to get to a particular specification for the project that you can provide further to create the skeleton of it. That's what your interviewer would be more interested than again what tool you use. Then when you have to create the, say you have an agentic application, so you have to create a bunch of agent, how you have defined the environment, how you have defined the goal, what you have considered for the scenario where you can take care of the false positives. So these are the things are new way of thinking of building application, right? And so when somebody wants to hire you, they also be mindful about the cost, right? Now AI is okay, it is somewhat, some point in time is going to be costly if it is not used correctly. So you as a developer, given all the tools, do you have all the underlying knowledge and the fundamental knowledge with you so that you can make use of those tools effectively, such that the cost to the company for building this application remain in the boundary of what they are looking for? Or is it like hiring you is much more expensive for that company than doing something else? So we are going to talk through all this. All these are part of AI native. All this mental model, it's required a lot of thinking, it's required a lot of thought process change, because we are all regular developers over the years. For me, like what, 20 years I've been doing similar kind of development. At the end of the day, I feel like all the application like the CRUD operation and there is a backend, there is a API, there is a front end at the top, and then you are just developing something. Now things are changing. How you bring that mental model is also part of AI native. So we'll talk a lot about that. Would it be from the basic? Of course, it would be from the basic. It will be from how to say, exactly how I have learned. Okay, let's take it that way. I didn't know the ABCD of it. I didn't even know what is model, what is LLM, what are the difference between different LLMs. Then somebody is talking about the RAG certain days, and they have created certain application. What is this RAG thing, agentic thing? Now people talking about MCP. Then the how do you do the security and all. So there are a bunch of items that I have discovered. Almost like people go to those play school, right? Before even standard one, kindergarten, right? So if you start from kindergarten, I'm going to start like that, because that's when I think it makes sense. It will make sense to a lot of people, even though there might be a lot of smart folks already know about most of these things. But I don't care. I mean, I want to start with real basics, because that will give me the proper projection of how I am moving with this one, and I'll feel like I'm doing justice. Okay. Um, Okay, so this is good. Any backend course loading? I give an answer. If you have missed it, just rewind back and see. I really like the way you approach the video creation process for your YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Okay, hands-on is the best. Okay, future of employment opportunities, especially for a front-end developer, since all agents are evolving better and write better code than mid-level senior engineer. Yes, I mean that's a fact. You have to accept. Correct. So today, if you see, even Claude, Claude is writing a majority portion of their code bases using Claude itself. This is happening in that company, right? Many of the companies are doing exactly the same thing. Now, does it mean I mean I don't want to get into that discussion? AI is taking my job and all. I think that discussion is gone in such a way that now it doesn't create any fear anymore. It creates some kind of frustrations and what is a boring fact, right? Why we are discussing about it. What is more interesting over here is like how much of the AI aspects you are aware than the other developer who is sitting beside you. That's the measure. That's what I'll say. It's not about what AI is doing. It's about what as an individual developer you are doing, which is better than any other developer beside you. I think that's the metrics that we need to look into. Once you start looking into it, then you will figure out, eventually you will figure out that the fundamentals that you have learned is still very, very much relevant. It is definitely not going to out of picture. The way that you need to think through in a AI driven environment, and if you're able to think through the way that we're going to talk about, is going to be entirely different. So it means as a software developer, the skill that what you need to acquire, the skill or the mindset that you need to drive yourself is going to be different. That's the change, right? AI is definitely going to create the code. That's the whole crux of it. I mean, we have to be productive. But what do you do with that code? Where exactly you fit it? What is your next step after getting this code? What industry is doing while creating a certain project, and where the 70% code is AI generated? Then the 30% of the code plus what everybody is doing, taking that 70% of the code before they push into the production. You need to know, right? Isn't it? If you don't know, then you're not catching up with the game. So that's where the difference is coming. And that is why I'm telling that 2026, beyond that, so the way that things are changing, like every 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, I don't know, maybe by mid of 2026, there will be another radical change. We don't know. But if you're not taking the step to reach till where the world has already gone today, we have to make much more longer leap later point in time to reach there, or we'll be entirely demotivated to say, "Oh, world have gone so much." Now, I don't want that to happen. You guys don't have to think that way. Every day is a fresh start. Let's start. Let's do a lot of AI stuff together. Let's learn a lot of stuff together. Let's explore a lot of stuff together. Let's have fun while doing that, and let's feel confident and know, like, why I am doing this, where exactly is getting useful, why people are again and again saying that AI will take your job, AI will take your job. What is the story behind that? What is the percentage of it is myth versus what is the percentage of it is still in your hand, right? So those are the things are what we are going to unfold. I'm sure, like, as and when you get more experience about it, I think you will crack it. Okay, last semester student. Kindly give any idea for FYP. I have Munstack knowledge. Means I'm able to build project with the Munstack AI tool, but I have no idea. It's kindly give an idea. Okay, see I don't know, like, how is it's in your college. It's like if the final year project happens in an industry as part of internship, it's not much in your hand. You of course you should try to take certain internship. I think that's the best way in today's world. Some startup somewhere, if you get an internship and do the project as part of the company and make that project as valuable as part of your final year project, because this is something maybe real users are going to use, and that will be really awesome if you're able to do that. So try for that as a first shot. Second, if you don't get the internship, the project that what you should be doing is definitely on the AI native stuff. You know already Monstack, so it means that you are well versed with maybe Express, Mongo, React, everything. Now, only thing is left out over here, like what kind of use cases that you can think of to build this project, build a solid project with this, right? So that is the only thing that you need to think through. There are a variety of use cases that you can think of. Of course, don't build the to-do app, don't build the calculator, don't build a very simple scheduler. Rather, try to solve certain use cases which you think in a daily life, if there is an amount of automation exist, it will really solve lot of time for you from your daily life. It could be, I'll give you very simple, it could be a very simple expense manager idea itself, right? We all have, I'm sure, like all of you have developed expense manager in the month stack, right? You are saving the data, getting the data, and doing something like. Now, can you take that to the next level in such a way that it automates some of the pain points that you have in managing expenses in your daily life? And can you bring AI into that and plug into that? This is just an example. I'm not telling you to do this as your final year project, but I'm giving you the thought process. You already had an idea which you have already worked before multiple times, but now you want to automate certain use cases which was not possible before, but now possible because AI into picture. Think from those perspective and then make it end to end. For example, it not only solve the tiny use case, but it goes to the next level. For example, you are doing the expense management, you are splitting the expenses, maybe you are able to create a report automatically, able to email that report automatically. Now how you are bringing the AI, how you are doing the agents, performing some of this task, how you are looking into the MCP from the protocol perspective, can bring those things into picture for your final year project. I'm sure like it will be an awesome project. So think about some of the solid use cases. Okay. I learned content library framework in-depth fundamentals. Is it or yeah, definitely. I mean, this question comes again and again, and I'm sure like you are going to realize this very hard that it is how much it is important, because there are two kind of people exist. I mean, developers exist today. One old school like me, who always doubt their own code all the time, that have I written the correct code or not. And if I have the doubt throughout the years, several years, and now I'm seeing like the model generating code, maybe some of the code, not exact code, but some of the code patterns may be written by me or someone like me. Now if I had the doubt on me itself whether I can write even today that beautiful code which is like a rhyme, uh, I am always having doubt whether AI is giving me the code which is of that, that good, solving all kind of complexities and all. Now that judgment will be completely missed out. I'm not saying that you won't be able to use that code as it is today. There are stronger model. If you able to pay for it, you will get code which is really awesome. But still, you'll be missing out on that judgment if you are not fundamentally strong. You will be always relying on what is coming out of AI and using it so blindly so that tomorrow there is a problem comes, you will be suffering because that code has already gone, maybe 2 years, 1 year, 6 months gone by. You yourself lost the context of it. Now what context you will give back to AI again, taking that code back, saying that this portion of the use case is not working for me because customer has changed ABCD in their expectation. This is exactly where your fundamentals come into picture. When you are taking the code, you are very well able to judge what exactly you are taking. That is actually the part of your strategy we are going to talk about in the AI native. This is also part of your strategy, like how you judge it. And second thing is, you are future proven if you know the fundamentals. When something such thing happens and you lost the context, you are not able to go back to AI again to get things, like before. Now you are manual, the man in the loop, right? They say in the AI stuff, the man in the loop. Now you are that man in the loop, you are the developer in the loop who needs to pitch in, correct this thing, and that is where your fundamentals come into picture. So never ask this question again, like whether I need to learn fundamentals or not. You must learn fundamentals. Of course, you may not be writing so many lines of code that someone used to be in the past using those fundamentals. That's the difference. All right. Why don't you complete TypeScript course this year? You can do it. uh, okay, good question. Okay. Day after tomorrow, I'm going for vacation. And I'll be back around towards the end of the year. And so I also need some break. Family needs some break. So going for a break. That's the reason I won't be able to complete the TypeScript one. The remaining days, I want to complete the React design patterns. There are 2 or 3 videos remaining. One I have already completed, 2 more to complete. I will try to push them before I go on vacation and schedule them so that it gets complete. And once I'm back, I'm going to start on this AI native. By the way, I'm going to create smaller videos. Probably I'm known for creating longer videos. I'm also learning to create smaller videos. AI native videos, not the project ones. Project ones will be longer, those split it into multiple chunks. But the other than project videos will be smaller videos. So those videos will come quite often on the AI native. And in between, we'll also sneak in the TypeScript videos now and then. So my plan is like complete the TypeScript one maybe the first couple of months of the year so that it is all set and we continue on the AI journey. Okay. I think I am good. I'm just seeing that if there is any other questions. But thank you everyone for joining. I see, you guys, actually majority of you are excited about this AI native thing. But let me know like what is your excitement, because I'm super excited as I see that as a future. And uh, with the background of full stack development for so many years, now plugging in AI into that, I think can make a very strong portfolio, right? If I can sense that it can make a very strong portfolio, I'm sure like it is going to be for many of you who are aspiring, right? Today maybe a front end engineer, tomorrow a full stack engineer. And the journey from the front end to full stack, it should not be like sequential. Front end, back end, something else, then AI. Let AI, start running with you in parallel, side by side, side by side. That's the perspective that we need to change together. Okay. And I'm also going to learn a lot about it. Okay, let me see any other questions before we end. Okay, cool. I think that's basically it that I have taken. Cool. Nice. And one request that I would have, again, I told like, it's a very small, tiny YouTube channel, very tiny creator. So if you guys can help me to spread the words, if you guys can help me to connect me to many other developers out there who might get benefit from the thing that I'm trying to do, that will be a super help. Like, so you're watching live or watching later point in time, please stay subscribed to tapaScript, support this channel, and talk about it with your friends, social media, wherever you feel relevant. I'm not telling that do marketing for me. That's not something I will never ask. What I'll ask is like, if you feel certain things are going to work for you, you like it, please share so that it works for somebody else also. That is the community driven mindset which probably I have because of being with open source for so long. Is a community driven mindset. Once you get it actually done for somebody else, help someone else, to do that help, first you have to know that piece, and that makes you learn really really deeply, believe me. So if you know something from tapaScript so far or will be learning something in future, let others know. So that will be a great thing and a great help, from all of you. Okay, yeah, thank you. So thank you very much for this. We are almost coming to an end. Stay well. I hope that remaining days of 2025 be super super for you. I'm sure like everyone have frustrations, everyone have aspirations, everyone have goals, and everyone have that kind of urgency to meet their goals, meet their things in their life. Everyone has that. So today, some of you may feel extremely frustrated that nothing is happening in my tech career. You may feel that where exactly it is going, it is kind of taken a complete turn than what I was thinking 2 years back. Now all this AI, all these things are like super complex. How am I going to do and things like this? The simple answer that I get or I tell myself always is like, this is what is life, and this is might be might sound like some, some holy man is talking about it, some baba is talking about it. It's not that. It's something like a learning that I have got is like, the more you think of certain things sitting on it, I think the less productive you are. The more you work on it, your mind get diverted from those negativity, you are more productive, and you are earning, you are learning everything more. That's exactly happened with me in my life. That's the one single thing that I want to tell before I end this live is like, whatever the frustration be, your life should have goal, and you should figure out, okay, by yourself, what are the things you need to do to achieve that goal, and do whatever possible to achieve that goal. If you want to get a job, and today if you think AI is a burden, you have to learn AI to crack it. There is no other way, there is no shortcut at all. Okay, so with that, I'm ending this live, guys. Thank you very much again for joining. Whoever watching it later point in time, please post your comment. I would love to respond back to you, and see you in 2026. Of course, 2025 have bunch of videos to do with more power of AI. Let's rock it. Thank you very much.